Survivor's Journal. I've been working a lot harder on getting the outer hull for the mothership going. It's really taken a toll on my iron supplies, and I've noticed that grinding down captured ships is really the way to go. By using the already available components and systems in the ground-down ships, I avoid, on one hand, energy consumption, crafting and assembling all these components. On the other hand, I manage to actually take better advantage of the time I have. Now, especially these commercial ships that fly around here have solar sails and batteries, and they're really valuable to me, so I really want to focus on capturing them and getting my solar sails up and running. And apart from that, I really want to get the overall shape of the mothership going. If I manage to do that, get it flight ready, get all the basic systems operational, I'll be able to be ready to get out of here and finish building it somewhere else, because I really don't feel safe here.
So starting this journal entry, I want to have it logged that I am going all out on my solar sails. Still have a lot to go. This might be about half of the starboard sail. So about 1/4 of the starboard sail done, because it still has to expand to this side here. And then there's the other hinge, and then there's the port side. I already programmed the rotors here, and have some wireframes going. Now, I do want to have it logged also that I am starting to feel very nervous around here, and I have this on me, but this isn't what I want. I am going to assemble one NATO caliber magazine, and I also crafted an automatic rifle. I am going to keep this with me just in case. So yeah, there you go. Let me check my heads up display here. All right. Okay, everything's set. In case I get into trouble or somebody pays me a visit, at least I can defend myself. Now, I've been hard at work on this wireframe here and starting to get a few armor blocks in place. I'm going to now transfer all cargo from that mining vessel, that mining carriage, over to my main storage area and disassemble it as well. And I wanted to see how my cargo capacity is holding up after I chewed up that that bit of what was it, business shipment? Yeah, I think it was a business shipment. Cargo, I believe I have it here. Cargo space. Okay, total cargo space is the one in the bottom, so I'm at 7%, and I only have half of my storage done, so I think this might actually be enough storage for the duration of my exile. So now, all I have to do is grind that down, and I believe I want to get started on the engine pods. Yeah, the engineering pods here, the warp drive section, and even if I don't have a fully functional bridge, I want to get this thing flight worthy as soon as possible. So even if I'm flying a wireframe ship, this wireframe is solid steel, so it will hopefully hold up with against the vibrations that I expect the warp drive to cause. It's going to be a very ghetto-y warp drive, so it's probably going to shake me up quite a bit, but I believe the main structure will hold, and I think it's worth it to actually get out of here as soon as possible and not pay a lot of attention to the ideal safety conditions, because I am actually in quite a bit of danger just lingering around here, because NATO or NATO or just your AmeriCorps officials, somebody is bound to come and check out what the hell is going on with all the disappearing drone ships around here. So I have to get on to this as soon as humanly possible. Okay, I just want to see how this baby handles a ship this size. This mining carriage, out of the standardized drone ships around here, should be the one with the most length. So if we can grind down this, I can grind down anything. Well, she got pretty banged up and needed some help from me. Yeah. Once I add more grinders, that'll get fixed, and I'm probably going to get like a few strips of heavy armor or blast doors, just going all the way from up here to down there, and try to reinforce this as well as here. I believe I'm going to replace this with a blast door block. Not right now, unfortunately. Right now, I have to design what hopefully will become the the engine pods, or engineering bay. Yeah, everything regarding engineering will probably be back there. So I have to take into consideration that I'm going to need space for thrusters, reactors, gyroscopes, and hidden weaponry. Because there will be a huge defensive gap here. Yeah, around here, that I'm going to have to cover. Now, I'm not going too overboard, maybe a couple of weapons up top and another couple of ones down to the bottom, but that will be it for the back part of the mothership. And as for the front, I still have to see how that's going to go, because I need something to... I want to keep one of those mining carriages. Those are excellent tugboats, so I want to keep one of those, and I want to be able to mass produce some ships. Most probably mass produce some ships, so I'm going to need a little production cell. Yeah, and I'm probably going to leave the rest until I figure out exactly what I want and need. But for now, I have to get designing this thing. Well, after quite a bit of trial and error, I figured that this design would best suit my needs. So, as you can hopefully see from this wireframe, it's very confusing right now, but essentially, instead of nacelles, I will have just this little bit of extra layer, here, just jam-packed with engines, thrusters to be more accurate, just pointing in all directions. And the advantage of this is that it is very it's very malleable, so I can actually, if I figure I need more reverse thrust, I can just grind down this this thruster and point it towards the front of the ship, and I'll get an extra line of thrusters. Same with that one. Now, as for up and down thrusters, I will probably have them. Well, I need to figure out exactly how the whole hull of the ship will be, but before that I might just have a few well, a few makeshift ones down here at the keel and up where I expect the bridge will be. Now, this is of course not very spacious, and fitting in reactors here would probably be a bad idea, because I would have to conveyor them up to the main system, which is here. So I think this space will best be used for gyroscopes, and gyroscopes should be at the back of the ship. They will improve handling by a great deal, and I will just have the reactors right here beneath the main walkway, and just under these conveyors here. Let me see if I got that right. I don't believe I did. No, one farther back. Come on, give it to me, just like this. And this should be directly underneath. It seems to be so. Yeah. Then this will be much easier to conveyor up. It will give some purpose to this underside. Initially I was thinking that I could use the underside as a small ship hangar, but I'm not too convinced that's a good idea. So what I'm lacking now is of course the components for those thrusters. Ooh, that's a military escort. I do not want to mess with those guys. I do need to make a couple of adjustments here. Now, this light armor is very, very susceptible to warping. So, what I'm going to try to do is replacing this with blast doors. Not heavy armor, no. Blast doors should be much more impact resistant. So let me go around and select from my suit's HUD blast doors, and let me see how I can actually place these guys. Let me place them down like that, and a couple of them on this side should prevent warping. If not, I might actually replace that landing gear with wheels. Now, wheels should not warp at all. Should not cause any warping issues. Now, another thing that I really need to do is to give this thing a security mechanism, a safety mechanism. So I want to be able I want to be able to actually this isn't going to be easy to actually merge these guys together. So using a merge block to hold the grinding wall in place. So what I'm going to do here is something along the lines of this, and this isn't perfectly adjusted. What was I looking for? A merge block. Get rid of you and get you in there. Now, this isn't perfectly aligned. However, it will hopefully do the trick as soon as I have this in place and the grinding wall goes a little bit farther to the, well, towards the grinders. This should help me merge this down. So I cannot place it here, but I can place it here. I'll lose an extra block of space there, but then all I'll have to do is with a timer block, yeah, use a timer block to deactivate these merge blocks and activate the gravity generator. And I should really turn off that mass block because it sucks up juice like nobody's business. So let me mass block, artificial mass off. That's 600 less kilowatts of wasted power. Yeah, this should do the trick. So right now I'm going to get this figured out and log back in as soon as I have a functioning, well, system. Well, I neglected to take into consideration one thing. It is that if I merge the grinder wall with the main ship via merge blocks, that creates so much pressure. The blocks just get so pressed against each other that the heat generated actually melts them together. Yeah, which means that I would not be able to unmerge, to separate them again in order for them to operate individually. So merging the grinder wall's piece with the main ship's hull will be a permanent thing. And I'm starting to become a little worried about this. Hopefully it won't be too big of a deal. But what I can do, and is probably a much better idea, is actually finishing off these landing gears and they just take so many materials. Finishing off these landing gears and actually locking them in place whenever I'm not using the wall, that will prevent it from jiggling around entirely. Now, what I've come to realize is that the ship's becoming increasingly more automated and I have no centralized command room, control room, so I really need to figure this out. And I also wanted to figure out one thing. It is, how much are these solar panels actually helping? So what I want to do is getting my starboard side arc furnaces and all my iron ore and getting these guys refining the iron and taking a look at our power consumption. Power should be this one here. Okay, 3 arc furnaces are working exclusively on solar power. This is very good. This is much better than I anticipated because the total possible output for the solar power is 4.3 megawatts, which is not a whole lot by a long shot. But it's still a very precious help. So that's refining, okay. And I need to figure out how I am going to get to the bridge. And here's what I came up with. This wall will be entirely sealed, of course. I do not want any air, any eventual atmosphere that I might be able to provide this place to escape. And a series of stairs will lead up to here. Now this is quite a long hall here. I do believe I'm going to add an extra set of stairs going farther towards the back and eventually a gravity elevator. Now, this will bring us up to here where the bridge will be. But not only the bridge, this will be an access corridor to the rest of the ship here. So all of this will be outside, of course. Access corridor here and the bridge itself over the corridor. So this is the basic layout of the superstructure up here. I gave it somewhat of an interesting shape. Especially because if I try to keep this things aesthetical, it gives this vessel a less militarized purpose, I believe. Less militarized look. And it will keep suspicions. It will help stave off suspicions, let's just say. But that will have to be for the next journal entry, where I will begin by setting up a bunch of timer blocks and the bridge's layout itself, getting myself a little command console, starting to really figure things out and be able to manipulate everything in the ship from that centralized position. So that I may actually remotely activate the grinders and lock the grinding wall in place. Basically do everything from that position. But like I said, that will have to be for the next journal entry. Hey everybody, just wanted to thank you very much for watching. Welcome all the new subscribers. Lots of new people have subscribed lately to the channel. Say that this will be the last episode where I'm kind of in between houses and not really able to record and edit in my ideal settings. So next episode and the ones after that, we should get back into a more familiar pace. So, in any case, remember, follow me on Twitter at TheNirl, leave a like, leave a dislike, leave a comment. Don't forget to check out the other series City Skylines in the channel. And, well, as always, I have been TheNirl, and I hope you have an awesome day.